Hi everyone, I'm Joyce. I was recently laid off and I had a lot of thoughts about this change of life. And I've captured those thoughts in my little notebook. So I thought I would go ahead and share thoughts regarding a major life change. Now, we have been preparing for retirement for some time. The house that we live in is a house that we had built in 2021. And that's when I moved up here full time. My husband still worked remotely and would come back and forth. In prepping for this stage of our lives, we had some decisions to make. So when we lived in our other house, which was about 2 hours away, one of the things we did was start decluttering about a year before we knew we were going to be moving. One single question that helped in doing this was, do I want to move it? That is a really magical question. It worked so well. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still healing from my surgery, so I'll try not to distract you with too many hand movements because it's not so pretty with the glue, but I apologize for that. To prepare for retirement, it really is great to start 5 to 10 years beforehand. And in thinking about, are you going to downsize? Are you going to stay in the home that you are currently in, or look for another option that might be less space, less maintenance, less upkeep? And for us, we knew we were going to be moving out into the country. We had purchased land. We knew we were going to build a retirement home for us out here. In advance of that, we started decluttering. I would go through every drawer, every closet, every room, the garage, every place, and ask myself, have I used it? And do I want to move it? And if I didn't want to move it, then it got donated. It was a perfect transition question, but I think that question works well anytime you declutter is, do I want to move it? And if the answer is no, then more than likely you don't need it. Another good question that I ask myself, or in this season of life of wanting to declutter, is, do I want to leave it for another family member to deal with? And honestly, since I just lost my dad, it's almost been a year. How has it almost been a year? It still hurts, but I'm grateful for my parents. I just miss them. They made it easy for us. We downsized them. My dad was more than ready. My mom was a little resistant. She didn't want to leave her home. She didn't want to leave her little town that she was in. But my dad knew she needed assistance and help, and he couldn't do it on his own anymore. So we helped them. We even did a yard sale for them. And honestly, the yard sale cost us more to put on than the money that they made. But it wasn't about making money for them. It was about helping my mom to be able to share the stories about the things that people were purchasing, that helped her transition, that allowed her to accept the change that was coming. And it was an important step for her. It worked really well. Once they passed, we had very little to have to deal with because we moved them into what we called a tiny house. It was less than 800 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, living area. And it was set up to handle them as they aged, meaning if they needed a wheelchair, that there was plenty of room to go around the bed and into the bathroom and into the shower. I have a huge appreciation for all the work that came leading up to that point in their lives, because it was a lot of effort. It was taking trips to the dump. We went and painted their house for them. We did so much for them and prepping for them. So that question that you can ask yourself is, of all the things that I have, do I want to leave it for somebody else to deal with if something was to happen to me? Now, there is the book about the Swedish death cleaning. I've actually have not read it, but I have purchased it, and I am going to plan on reading it to see if there's any tidbits that are a newer idea or additional thoughts that might benefit me as I continue to declutter. I'd love to hear in the notes below if this is something you have already tried, or if you've already read the book, let me know what you took away from it. Like, what was the top 2 items that you learned from it? And I'll share that in a future video as far as mine goes. We need to be realistic. It doesn't happen overnight. When you're working full-time and you've got family commitments and you're traveling, it's not something that you can easily work on, right? But what I found is, if you're going to plan for this 2 years, 5 years in advance, if you can go ahead and do it on a day that it's raining, do it on a day that it's super cold where you're not going to go outside, do it on days that you don't have any commitments. And it doesn't have to be a full day commitment. It just needs to have a little bit chipped away. And there's so many structured approaches that you can take. For me, it would be one room at a time, and I'd only tackle like a dresser at one time. And then maybe the next time I'd tackle the closet. But I never did it full house at one time, especially when we knew we were going to be moving. It was just a little bit at a time, and spread over a year. It's amazing how much will leave your house. The other thing is, a lot of what you have probably has value to it. So is it worth your time and effort to put it on Facebook Marketplace, put it on Etsy or eBay and sell it? And then with the money, do you reward yourself with a vacation? Put it in your vacation fund. Put it in an IRA, put it in your retirement. There are so many rewards to decluttering and preparing for your next stage of life in retirement, and selling your items and doing that if it's something you want to do. Now, if it's an extra task or it stresses you out and you don't have time for it, then bless somebody else. Give it to a donation place. We have a donation place here that is Meals on Wheels. It is 100% donations, 100% volunteers, and we love supporting them. And finally, ask family and friends. Is it something that they want? Do they care about it? If they don't care about it now and they don't care about it in the future, then donate it. But if you have a deep desire to try to keep it in your family or keep it with friends, yes, it takes a little bit of effort, but you can use a box system. Have a box for donations that you periodically add to. Add a box for friend donations, right? Put a sticky note on it. Put a painter's tape on the item and write the name of the person on it. I will tell you one tip my grandmother did, and I absolutely love this, is we knew growing up that in her house, on the bottom of figurines or on the back of hanging art, she had written notes of either who gave her the item, and so when she passed, that item was to go back to them, or if they didn't give it to her, if it was just an item that she wanted them to have, she would put their name on it. So there was no fighting over specific items. Not that our family fought over anything. We didn't. But it just was such a great way to deal with the minute and the little stuff and know that you were thought about. And so that I thought was really genius. I really do admire the way my grandmother approached that. And it wasn't death cleaning, but it was making sure that the things that she treasured went to somebody who either wanted them or would appreciate them. The moral to this little video and story is it doesn't happen all at once. You don't have to overwhelm yourself, and it's best to not wait to the last minute. Start chipping away at it. I've chipped away at it, and it is something I will continue to do. I've made pretty much my first pass through our entire house. I'm getting ready to start making a second pass through it, because as we get better perspective as the process goes along, we're able to be clear and know what else we are willing to let go of or what's not serving us. So I hope these few little tips help. It's a journey. I'm happy that you are coming with me. Sometimes as we age or we have surgeries, I had neck surgery last year. I've had carpal tunnel surgery in the last month. Those type of things tend to slow us down, and it can be super frustrating. So that's one other piece, is if you feel like you can't do something because you're either just exhausted all the time from having work and commitments, or you are physically being challenged, please, please know that you can do it too. We just have to come up with an alternative way of getting things done. And that can mean just tackling what you physically are capable of doing and asking for help when you need help. So if you can declutter some things, but you can't lift the box that they're in, then ask a neighbor, ask a friend, ask a church family member if they can come help you take your donation items out. There are more ways to accomplish these kind of declutter efforts than just to rely on your own capabilities and your own skills. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If there's anything that you have as far as a question that I might be able to answer in my next video, leave it in the comments for me. I would love to hear from you. Until then, I am going to close like my dad always closed his voicemail messages. Bye for now. And who knows, she may have gotten it from, what was the name of that lady? I don't remember. It was a columnist. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out because I don't remember what it was.